Hey everyone, so I'm going to talk about UFC 251's main event, Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. It's going to be a stacked card, can't wait for it to happen. So, Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, if you don't know, are long-time training partners under Henry Hooft, who's a kickboxing legend, has 89 kickboxing fights, so definitely a great coach. However, both of them have to not be trained by him at the moment to have a fair playing field, so it's going to be pretty difficult to predict exactly what's going to happen in the fight, considering they both know each other's style. So today I'm going to instead talk about 3 signature techniques from both of them and see how these can interplay into the fight. So today I'm going to be bringing in Taishi, my brother, to demonstrate some of the techniques, and yeah, let's get going. First technique we'll talk about is Kamaru's takedowns. He's very good at mixing up his striking to takedowns, and it's what he makes him so effective. So with this, he's here, he gets him pressured up against the cage usually, and then he'll get them thinking high, and drop down and shoot. Once he's got shot here, it's not usual necessarily that he grabs immediately, but once he gets the link of the hands together, it tends to be game over and he gets a takedown. Whether this is around the legs or if they turn around, if you can get to the back and link his hands, you can often finish the takedown from there. And the usual ones he tends to go for either double or around to the back. One detail about his takedowns which is easier to demonstrate out in open space is his double leg shot. So if he shoots in for the double leg here and he shoots against the cage, the opponent will start to sprawl, and often if they sprawled out, it's game over for most people. But what Kamaru does is very good at chain wrestling, so he goes in, shoots, but then he'll change the angle as they sprawl, and you can get round with less resistance. So in space, so without Taishi here, he will shoot in and then he'll cut the angle and go round, meaning that he's not meeting the sprawl necessarily, and it will allow the opponent to fall into the space that he's provided. So the second technique that Kamaru is very good at is his straight right hand. It's right down the pipe, no telegraph, no pulling back, straight down. So as he throws his right hand, straight down, he turns his foot round, gets a good extension in his right hand. Especially good when the left hook comes in, he can counter with the right hand, so left hook coming in, the right hand comes through. And if the right hand lands before, then the left and the hook falls short, and also his shoulder can protect him from getting hit with the hook. One way he gets people to get into this cross is he uses his hooks to herd the opponent in. So he might do jabs to start off with, and throughout the fight he will throw jabs, but then he'll change his jab into hooks. So instead of going straight, go round. So you've got the jab and then the hook. It's quite hard to tell which one's coming, and also the hook will herd into the right hand. So the jab will come out maybe a couple times, and then he'll change this into a hook. Does this with the crosses as well, so when you realise the opponent starting to parry the shot, instead of throwing a cross, you'll throw it as a hook. And this will get them to go inwards, and it will make it easier to get the takedown because they'll be aligned to him shooting forwards. The last signature technique we'll go over with Kamaru Usman is his body shots. These are quite underrated. He used them a lot in the Covington fight and a lot also in the Woodley fight. One shot he throws with his legs is the front kick. He throws it straight up and snaps it in. This isn't the typical classic push kick where you're trying to push them away. Instead, it's a snap straight up from the ground, sharp stabbing motion, and designed to hurt more than push the opponent back. It just snaps it in. And this is highly effective when the opponent's slightly further away from his punching range. Stab his kick in and interrupt them and get them thinking still. However, when he gets close, he will, especially in the clinch scenario, he will dig the hooks in despite also controlling the position from here. So he digs the hooks in whilst in the clinch if he cannot get a takedown in the meantime. Another thing Kamaru does is he gets you worried about your head, so if you start protecting your head, then he'll slip in these body shots up close, and this was evident in the Covington fight at moments where Kobe was getting momentum and Kamaru would throw the shots high, the guard will go up, and he'll throw a nice shot to the body. So the first technique we'll go over for Burns is his armbar. He's got a couple finishes from this even in the UFC. He's very good at it, and one technique he uses is he uses his legs to break the grip. So if he's here, you know, you're struggling to hit the armbar, he uses either the bottom or top leg, wedges it in between, and then pulls it back, and by this point it's over. So he uses his shin and his leg to push the grip away, so rather than just using his arms alone. Another thing is, if they were really resilient and held on to this grip, he's also threatening the bicep slicer from here. So from this position, squeeze, and I can pull my knees apart, and either Taishi's going to let go and I'll have the armbar, or I could get the bicep slicer. And this works simply by my forearm being wedged in between the elbow crease, and this puts a lot of pressure on Taishi's elbow, and also will eventually tear his bicep if he did not let go. For some people it doesn't necessarily work, but a lot of people, especially if you've got a bigger bicep, it tends to be very painful. Another extra thing is if Taishi was to sit up into me, it just pressures even more onto the elbow, so stacking isn't really an option when you've got the bicep slicer here. But back to original thing, Gilbert Burns uses his legs to not only threaten that, but most of the time just break the grip and get the armbar from there. On the stand-up side, one of Burns' techniques is he's very good at countering the inside low kick. So if the inside low kick comes in, he uses this to set up his cross. He did this very early on in the Dan Hooker fight, but he also did it in another fight to eventually get the finish. So he's allowing that inside low kick to come in, using that energy to turn into his cross. So it's almost as if he's using that kick to get the cross off. And sometimes even more effectively, you can check this and get the cross off. I mean, it doesn't only mean that they get countered, but they also hurt the leg in the process. But in this case, kick comes in, the cross comes up. So inside leg comes in, and he times this with the cross. The third signature technique that Burns uses is his head movement. He uses head movement to slip, counter with the hook. So if his opponent is in orthodox, so left foot forwards, the jab comes in, he slips off the side, and he throws the hook. So he slips off the side, hooks. So the jab comes in, slip, counter. And one of his KOs comes from this method. If they're southpaw, jab comes in, slips, and then counters. So once again, slip, counter. So he's technically going onto the outside of the jab. So he's not going for this side of the head, he's going for the other side of the head. And this means you're kind of a bit blind to this side because your arm's in the way, whereas the other side, you've got an open gap here of vision. So he's kind of going more for your blind spot than the side that is more visible. So if it's orthodox, jab comes in, and this is the more blinder area, the hook comes over. And if it's southpaw, the jab comes in, this side's more vulnerable, and the hook comes in. So it's almost playing a bit with vision as well. So those are the three signature techniques from Usman and Burns. Obviously there's plenty more techniques they use, just never going to be enough time in this video to go over them all. A couple things to point out, so Burns uses quite a lot of head movement, and this could be quite effective against Usman, who tends to rely more upon footwork and ducking down and changing levels for the takedown. So from here, this could give Burns an advantage in this sense. However, because Burns can load up on shots, if Usman can interrupt this with maybe a jab, so if I come in with a hook and the jab pops out, this could be a problem. You saw this a bit in the Hooker fight, where Hooker interrupted with jabs, but also interrupted with a cross that dropped Burns. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. However, both of them have got great, well-rounded abilities. Obviously, Usman with the wrestling, Burns with BJJ. However, they are definitely complete MMA fighters. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want more content, please let me know. And I'll see you soon.